Chris Level here with another edition of Pirate Talk. My man Chip Darden that coaches the Lubbock Cooper Pirates on the football side of things. And, man, I don't, we've come into a lot of these weeks, and I don't think you kind of have a feel for how the previous game was going to go. I was not expecting necessarily 41-7, but that's what you got. And it was, I think, fair to say, Jaden Hibbler's just best game. I mean, I think he was counting them down, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, just ran the ball extremely well.
Yeah, I think it started with our defense. Monterey they were running the ball really well this year on every team, and I thought we did a good job of stopping the run. First half, we gave up a couple pass plays, a deep ball, and then a trick play pass, and you take those away, and I thought the defense just had a great first half and set the tone. I think we started the game with 3 and outs and just gave us a chance. Offense, we sputtered in the red zone a little bit first 2 drives, and then we're able to get that third drive in the end zone. And I think the defense just set the tone with the game. But then, Jaden, he had a great week. I think he could have had a lot of distractions. He did have a lot of distractions, but just being able to stay focused on the game, and that's the mindset of the team. And we mentioned this last week, but you got – for fans, for people at work and stuff, these city rivalries are great, but we're in the middle of a district run. We got big goals. It doesn't matter, and this is no disrespect to anybody that we're playing, but who's on the schedule isn't a big deal. It's about how we're playing, how we're preparing, and I thought Jaden did a good job of that. He just had a great week of preparation and played well. The other thing that we really challenged the guys and was on the discipline, playing some disciplined football, and I thought we did that Friday, and translates into playing pretty well when you play discipline.
They hold you a couple of field goals early, and you're thinking, need to poke these in. But is the rule, because Jaden Hibbler scores a touchdown, so I guess it technically would have been 5 touchdowns had he. But when the helmet comes off, it's not that he took it off; it was ripped off. The play stops right then.
Yeah, for the ball carrier, if the ball carrier's helmet comes off, the play's dead immediately. Okay. So it was a correct call. And then if you're
right there at the 1 yard line,
it's right there,
and he goes in. I mean.
And then if you're not the ball carrier, you have to stop. The play doesn't stop, but you have to stop. So, like, if your helmet comes off and you're away from the ball, you can't block or try to go make a tackle anymore. You're done at that point. So it was the right call. That was the explanation I got, and it did. It fell off right before he crossed the goal line.
I can't remember. It was several years ago, obviously, because he's now retired. But Jason Witten did that against the Eagles one time. His helmet ripped off, and I guess in the NFL, he just keeps
they gave
going.
it to him. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he just keeps going. He's running down because he's got the ball. But it was. I thought that was a tough break because then you're held to a field goal attempt, and you don't know how the game's going to go from that point, and you're thinking, man, you need to take advantage. But I thought it was a positive that you still end up going up 41-7, and yet the first 2 drives are, thankfully Cub Patton able to knock those through.
Yeah, and that's what's great. I mean, the second one was a 44-yard field goal that
not a gimme.
There's no hesitation on our end. Like we're well within range there, and kind of allows you play calling wise to not necessarily be conservative, but just know that whatever's called here, we feel good about a field goal. That 44-yarder was good. Might have been good from about 60.
What is his range? I mean, it's probably different each game.
Yeah, it is.
Surface and.
I think typically if we get inside the 40, we feel good about it. I mean, if he's in the mid 50s, I think there would have to be the right conditions and the right moment to try a 60-yarder or so. But he's tried a 53 and a 57 in a game this year. I mean, I think we're okay with doing that, especially with a good wind or good conditions.
Do y'all play on natural grass anywhere?
Mm-mm.
I was about to say
it's been a long time since we have.
It's always on turf. Yeah.
Hereford used to be the one that we did, and I think they're turf now. So
okay, I mean, pretty much, everybody is. And one of the positives I thought about this game too is, boy, you were able to just empty your bench in the second half. Yep. You get up 41-7, you just everybody that you want to get reps for hadn't played a ton. I mean, all of it happens, and it was kind of fun to watch those guys compete.
Yeah, we get it. We've got, I think there's some guys injured that are out for injury. If you count the injured guys, there's about 70 guys on the roster. I think we had 66 that were able to play and all get reps. And that, it's tough because you've got guys that don't get a lot of reps or any reps, that they practice just as hard. They show up every day, and so it's rewarding when you're able to get guys into the game and let them have a little of that action on a Friday night, and because they deserve it, they earn it. We wish, we tell the guys all the time, we wish we could just play everybody equally, and it's just not the nature of the business. But really happy for them, and the deal is when we put them in, and I hope it's noticeable. Our kids know, but the expectation doesn't change. They're getting coached just as hard, and no matter if we're up, down, the situation doesn't matter. We're going to coach kids for 48 minutes and have high expectations. And I thought they did a good job. I think we got to finish the game a little bit better. A couple, we gave up, a fourth down that ended up being a touchdown, and then give up an onside kick. And we've got to be better in those situations, no matter who's in. But I was glad we got some guys in the game, and I think getting those game reps, hopefully, they're able to get in some more games, some of those guys, the reserves, and they're going to be better. They're going to have some of that game action that they're going to play better next time, and just getting that experience is invaluable.
And it's a lot of fun too to watch the ones, or however you want to phrase that, root for those guys that they're getting to play that don't get to play a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a culture, because they are almost more invested in watching their buddies play than you guys are. At some
absolutely.
Level. Yeah. I mean, I think that's.
Was invaluable the right word that I used there? Or very valuable? No, anyway, I think I misused that.
I saw you.
I'm gonna get somebody.
This look on your face.
I'll tell you who. Will Truby will get me. He'll. I'll have a text. He'll let me know if I was correct on that.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Will Truby. Yeah, known him a long time. Good people. Okay, so now Amarillo, Tascosa on your schedule. So one, without moving on to the next one yet, this was a big district win. You mentioned the race is kind of. I mean, that win that you guys had over Amarillo High a few weeks ago looks very important right now. So you look at Tascosa. One, nobody should forget. Last year they were the district champs. It didn't go well on your field, but they were really good. But they're 2-2 in district, and you guys are 3-1. So that's what makes this one important, because if it doesn't go right, y'all are right there tied.
Yeah, I think back-to-back weeks, the outcome of playoff seeding, all that stuff is just heavily in play in our game, and that's the way it is. And we took care of business last week, and I think put ourselves in a position. We've gone through all the scenarios. We're not locked into a playoff spot, but a lot of things I think would have to happen to not at least be in a tiebreaker scenario. But this one's huge. I think we win this one. We're for sure in the playoffs. We lock ourselves in, and probably lock ourselves into at least playing for a home playoff game the next week. And that's kind of our guys, especially the seniors that have heard it over and over. They probably get tired of me talking about it, but put yourself in a position to get into late October and have meaningful games. That's all you can do, and that's what they've done. We're playing a meaningful game this Friday. You win it, you're playing another very meaningful game, and then you get to extend your season a little bit.
Speaking of Will Truby, you just mentioned that. I wanted to bring up that play. Last week, I don't remember the scenario, the down or distance, or the timing of the game. I think it was fairly late in the game, but Ryan Rodriguez is getting tackled, and he's just somehow gets the throw off. Yeah. And I think it was Cash Truby just rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and it was 25, 30-yard gain. It was a very impressive play on all fronts.
Yeah, the play Ryan made to get the ball. A lot of times you're going to go, no, let's just eat that one and take the sack.
But there was nobody around.
Nobody there.
Yeah.
Cash breaks a tackle. That was a great play, and that was I think it was right after we had come out after half and gone 3 and out. It was probably our worst offensive possession of the game. Went 3 and out. They scored, and we needed a little positive momentum, and so that was a big play. Got us into plus territory, and I was proud of Cash. Cash has stepped in and done a really good job. Cash played varsity football last year, had a role, and has stepped in with some injuries, and I mean we've got a lot of confidence in what he's doing, and so it's always nice to see him get a catch and go get a first down.
Great play on both ends of it. Yep. Yeah, and you ask a lot of your tight ends, and you're missing some of them right now, and so you're having to get guys to step up and do some extra things. Jaden Kennard, I think, has actually kind of done a few tight end-ish things in recent weeks and all that stuff. So, okay, so Tascosa, one of the things, there's a couple things. They are going to run the flex bone.
Yep.
They're going to run it, what do you say, 85, 95% of the time?
Yeah, last year they threw one pass on us. And it was on a 4th and 4, and they just threw a fast screen to the single receiver and got the first down. That was the only attempt that they made.
Okay. And it's going to be one of those games where, like we're already here in the middle of third quarter.
Yep.
Like I feel like we just got here. It just goes fast because you only get so many possessions. Take me through Tascosa, though, first of all. They lost a lot.
Yeah.
But this was a young team initially that has gotten better and better and better as the weeks have gone along.
It's a really good program. Last year, our freshmen went 9-1. Our JV went 9-0-1, and those ones were Tascosa. So they just have a good program year in, year out. A lot of kids. They make deep playoff runs, and you kind of said it perfectly. We told our guys last year going into the game, we average this year. We're not running a ton of snaps on offense. Like we're probably averaging 50, maybe just under, which is pretty low. But last year we were averaging a little bit more. And we told our guys 8 possessions. Like we're going to get 8 offensive possessions, and it turned out we got 6. We had the ball 6 times, and so that's just the style that they do. They're not going to be in any hurry, very methodical of what they do, and that option is just a different thing. And you get in their district. When we get that initial thing, which happens in February, like this coming February, we'll find out what our district will be the next 2 years. When you get that and see Tascosa, you automatically have to start prepping, and we start doing option responsibilities in spring football that we never have, and you've got to do that. And I think it's been good for us, kind of how our defensive coaches has planned that. But it's a very unique system, it's a very unique scheme, and there's teams that run it, but with the athletes they have, it makes it kind of a different animal. I mean, they've got Division I kids. There's a safety and a slot that plays for him that he's going to play Division I football. He's a junior, and that just makes it a different dynamic. You just typically don't play offenses that have that good athletes and they're running the flex bone. So, and then defensively, I think their defense is underrated year in and year out. We kind of talk about that when we talk about Coronado some, but they play good defense. There's nothing fancy about what they're doing, but play really good defense. And last year they had a kid or two that I think might play in the NFL. I mean, they put those kind of athletes on the field.
Avion Carter is big defensive
end.
He's
a real deal.
Yeah.
So it's one of those games that you can't press. We can't, like on offense, if we have to punt, we can't freak out and lose our minds. But at the same time, every possession matters, and whether it's field position or giving the defense a rest, just positive drives, I think will be a real key to the game.
Do you have to play psychologist or just Coach Lakeman, I should say, with your corners?
Yeah.
In that, boy, it's heavy run responsibility this week. However, it's that one pass or that 2 passes that could be the difference in this game, and it's almost like a mind game that you're playing the whole time. That's
100% all week. I mean, you hear it from Coach Perez, our corners coach, and Coach Rhodes, safeties. I mean, just all week that you got to do your job every single play, because you can go 49 in a row of they run this play and then they hit you over the top, and that's the difference. And but I think that goes even beyond that, just your option responsibilities. That's what they try to do. They try to get you where somebody does the wrong roll, decides, hey, they've been pitching the ball every time, I'm going to go take that guy, and then the quarterback runs it for 40 and changes the game. So I think we've got a good plan. I think our guys are ready, and I'll tell you this, a difference this year, us running some option, is I think we've given the defense a better look at what and it's different than what we do, but there's some similarities. And so I think our JV scouts and then our varsity scouts have done a really good job this week of, it's still not the perfect look that we'll see Friday night, but I think it's a lot closer than we have been in the past.
And this is a flex bone. It's like an inverted wishbone kind of thing.
Yep.
Anybody else like college or even high school anywhere similar that runs this variation? Because Midland High, don't they do something similar?
Yeah, Midland High's out of the gun. Okay. They're under center, so it's different. The academies used to Army, but now Army's going more gun also. But Army and Navy and Air Force, they all used to run kind of a version of it, this under center stuff. So it's good. It's tough to prep for. And I think it's just like anything else. There's a lot of ways to win in football, and I just think they've got a system, and this is the system, and their kids know it well, and your responsibility matters, and if you don't do what you're responsible for, they're going to find a way. And I'll tell you one thing that's intriguing about an offense like this: they've got an answer for everything. They've seen every defense, they've seen every little tweak that you can come up with. And last year, I thought we did a good job. We had a plan, and it took them a drive or two, and then all of a sudden their coaches figured out what we were taking away, and they went and attacked us somewhere else. So it's a good scheme.
Yeah, their quarterback last year, he's just you couldn't see him at a big center.
He's huge,
and that quarterback gets just tucks up and down there, and he kind of there was a few runs that but I mean it's just hard because you're trying to like where's the ball going and all that stuff, and there's the dive man, pitch guy, and all that stuff. Anyway, but so obviously in playing at what is it, Dick Bivens Stadium? Yeah, and you guys have had some success there, but it'll be fun. And last year, I remember when you played up there, it was cold and rainy. That's when you got Amarillo High, and it was raining sideways. And
twice we got Caprock up there too, and it was cold and rainy as well.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. But Colton Fulton, I think, is the quarterback's name for Tascosa, and then Andrew Morrell, I guess, is the running back. So there'll be a handful. 7 o'clock, we'll obviously broadcast that on 100.7 in the LCISD Athletics YouTube channel, if I can say that right. I was going to ask you this because I thought this was fascinating. It's been a big topic in college and a controversy. Do you worry about somebody stealing your signs?
Like that is funny. We like. Because you know who the worst. This is. I mean, you can take offense. It's fine. it's when there's baseball coaches on the other staff. It's like, baseball coaches always steal signs. No, like
which is part
there's
of the game,
times,
kind of.
It is, and I mean, there's nobody. I don't think there's anybody in Texas high school football that's doing something illegal or the integrity of the game. But as far as when you're signaling across the field and they just kind of look and. Hey, coach, think it's a screen, and I think it's very hard to watch a signal and say, okay, they're running inside zone to the right, then to be able to communicate that to the defense and get lined up, and but I think there's some, when they know a screen maybe is coming or they know it's a pass, and I think our system is really good. That's one thing that we've liked about our new system with the wristbands is it changes weekly. It can even change during the game. We can move stuff around, and so I think it's kind of hard to pick those. But we don't worry about it that much. And like we don't do it. I mean, we want our kids to line up and play fast. And if we're worried about all that, that's tough.
And people got the signs, like with. I don't know, a video game character and an NFL team helmet and a color and and I don't. It's sometimes they don't mean anything. Just so you know that. Sometimes,
ours do, but
yes, but most of the time there's stuff up there that doesn't. Like they're looking for one thing or another. Anyway, it's just it's kind of fascinating. But it's been a big talk, and I don't know if high school football will ever do like what the NFL does. They're talking about it in college, where you just put a radio inside that way you just eliminate all of it. I mean, I can't imagine that's that expensive.
Right.
I mean, everybody has headsets on. You just put something in the helmet and let's just talk to the linebacker or the quarterback.
The issue I think on the expense that some people don't realize, and this is the same with shot clock. Like everybody wants a shot clock in high school basketball. Somebody's got to run it, but somebody's got to run it for when we got a 9th grade B team game. So same with that. Do you put that for your 7th graders? Do they have a deal in their helmet? And where do you? There's more expense, I think, than
people realize.
And
And I just wonder if eventually maybe they try it out at the 6A, 5A, 4A ish, and then I don't know. But anyway, it was worth asking about. I thought it's been fascinating to me because so many people are like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I got too much time. I can't. Even if we knew what the other, I still have to tell my kids and execute it, and it's hard enough to even when. We want them to do a certain thing. I can't get them to do that, kind of thing. Whether it's pro, college, or high school. So,
that's right.
Halloween next week. Your favorite costume?
And that'll do it for Pirate Talk this week.
And you're anti-Halloween, aren't you?
Yeah.
Me too.
I mean,
it's kind of annoying. Yeah. I don't. I'm sorry.
Halloween, New Year's, Valentine's. Let's just do away with all those.
we're simpatico there, man. Yeah, it's just kind of annoying. Candy apple, where you at on that?
Oh,
Gross.
Yeah, it's fine.
Candy
Whatever.
corn.
No on candy corn.
Haunted house guy.
Nah.
Never done one, or like wouldn't.
Yeah, I've done one, but I just
Didn't enjoy it.
yeah
Scary movie guy.
everything. No,
So just nothing about
nothing
it, really.
about it.
Yeah. It's just
I
like,
definitely don't like scary movies. Like yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, don't wander out in the woods and outside of the cabin in the
Yeah.
dark.
Yep.
There's always a lake nearby. Just bad news, right? Something's gonna happen. And there's some music in the background.
and
Geez, I wonder what's gonna happen.
I don't do ghost and demon movies for sure. Like I'm out on those.
Yeah. See, and,
And
you
Coach
know,
Bacchus, he likes demon movies. That'd be you should get him on sometime and talk about that. He's a fan.
get on him. Talk about officiating, basketball.
Yeah, officiating
wise.
too,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. We just talk about yeah.
Anyway,
No,
I'm out.
he-
As you can tell, I'm out. My kids love it. I'm all about that. But
Yeah,
like,
I know. When somebody knocks on the door at the Darden household, what are we getting?
whatever my wife buy. I don't know. I typically, when they go out trick or treat, well, dang it, I won't let her watch this episode. When they go out trick or treating and I stay at home, I lock the door and I don't answer it. We're good. Then when they get home, they can pass out candy.
I've been known to do the same, just because you get fewer nights off, and it's like maybe I'll get to a point in my life where it's like, hey, yeah, come on, you know, yeah. That is we won't do another one of these until Halloween has taken place. So I just thought I'd ask you about some of that stuff. Well, big game, man, and it's fun. You've got 2 regular season opportunities left. This will be one of them. Dick Bivens Stadium at 7:00 against Tascosa. Then back home for the regular season finale, and I guess that would be senior night.
Yep.
Against Caprock. To finish it off, and a couple of wins. Now, one more question: do you pay attention at all? What goes on in Abilene this Friday night? I'm guessing you're beyond curious there about the result there. Amarillo High plays Abilene High. You're in that kind of
Yeah, I mean, we won't. It's not like we'll be following as the
Scoreboard
game goes
watching.
on. But when the game's over, I'll kind of be interested how that goes. Last year Amarillo High beat Abilene High, and I mean, both really good programs and good teams. And that changes things if Amarillo High were to win that game. So, but we got to focus on what we're doing and take care of our business, and then how all that falls will. That's fun, I guess. Like looking at some of that stuff after.
Oh yeah.
After we're
but
focused on
your
what we're
game and that game in Abilene, that's very important to like how this district race will finish up and playoff seedings and location and all that kind of stuff.
Abilene is they've guaranteed a share of the district title because they're open the last week, so this is their last game. If they win it, they're the outright district champs. I mean, so that's as simple as it gets. If Amarillo were to win it, then there's a chance of all different tiebreakers. So
Yeah, and they were a handful.
Yep.
Well, enjoyed it, man. Good luck.
All right, thanks,
There he
Chris.
is, yeah. Coach Darden right there. It's been another edition of Pirate Talk. We'll talk to you next time.